Hello there, Tristan Ogilvie here, alongside my caddy, Luke Riley.
Hello.
You don't mind being the caddy, do you?
No, I don't mind hauling your clubs around.
Handling my wood and all that good stuff.
Cleaning your balls.
Let's keep it. What are we talking about again? Oh, yes, golf. There's a review commentary for the golf club. We'll keep the immature jokes to a minimum. The golf club, developed by HB Studios, who... certainly a lot of the Australian and English and New Zealand and those sorts of folks, viewers would recognise from their cricket and rugby games back in the day, sort of around the turn of the millennium.
Yes, they've pumped out quite a few of those.
Yeah, and in fact...
And then they started doing them for... Who was it, 505 they did the rugby game?
They did
rugby games for EA, and then they did rugby games for somebody else.
That's true, and they've also done a lot of games for EA, but like... ports, like last-gen ports of like NBA Live, or the PSP version of FIFA 10.
You're up in Canada, right?
In Nova Scotia, yeah.
Yeah.
And they also did a Tiger Woods game once, but it was like the PS2, PSP version of Tiger Woods 10 or something. So anyways, not sure if they took any sort of development blueprints or whatever for reference from that time. But anyway, this is the golf club, completely unlicensed. No big name players, no big name courses, no branded clubs or balls or sneakers or spikes or any of that, aside from the Greg Norman golf course design, which I'm not really sure what that deal means. Like, obviously,
means they get his photograph.
You get the logo and the photo. That's it. I did read something that how Greg Norman was like, it was like a mutually beneficial deal where Greg Norman was going to use their tech to help design courses or something. That may have just been like for the real world.
Oh, for the real world.
That may have been just like some PR.
Spiel.
Yeah, a bit of spiel. I'm not sure how real or true that is. Anyways, we'll get to the course design in a bit. But let's just hop into a round of golf. Now, the other thing is that this game not only does it... I'll get to the bit where this game's good soon. The other thing is that aside from the complete lack of licensing, there's no real kind of career mode or any kind of like character progression even. Like, I mean, you get like... it keeps track of all your scores and your averages and all that kind of stuff, but you don't like buy better points for your spin attribute or anything like that. So there's no, and that's probably one of my biggest sort of beefs with the game is that, unlike sort of Tiger Woods, where you're sort of bombarded with unlocking new gear and new stat points, and it's giving you like spot challenges and all this stuff and all these things to hook you and to keep you playing. This game doesn't really do that. Right. But if you love golf, you just want to play for the love of the game, then this game does that pretty well. Anyways, so you play around, play a tour, play a tournament, or just hop in and play around. Again, I'll just show you how under-featured it is in terms of customization of the player. It's definitely got good course customization, but of the player, you literally have... you can change left and right hand, so that's a thing. Yep. You can also... there's like about 6 different templates, or 2 of them look
change
just
the poses.
It's just this. That's actually 2 different people, but it actually,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, they count as 2 different types, and you got the different racial groups, and you've got 2 women to 4 men, or I guess 3.5 men, because 2 of these guys look like they're the same guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, slightly unbalanced in terms of gender equality. You can change the color of the hats.
Oh, good.
You can
all right, let me write that down.
You can change the color of the glove and so on. But
can you change the color of the pants?
You can change the color of the pants.
Okay, good.
So I'm glad you're still in. But very underfeatured in this. I mean, it may as well be a stick figure in some regards. Like, you're not really custom. You can't make it look like yourself. You can't make it look like Ronald McDonald. You can't make it look like Arnold Palmer. You're just stuck with Mr. Generic Man, but it's just an avatar. It's just a body.
I guess it's interesting though, because we've seen, like you and I have definitely seen how much success you can sort of glean from having a robust character creation system where people can share characters and players.
It's a good way of...
with Don Bradman Cricket.
Yes, exactly. It's a good way of dodging the lack of licensing.
Yeah.
In this instance, it's not there.
It's not there at all.
Perhaps it could be something added. I don't know. I mean, I know this game was like it came from early access.
Yep.
It's now like full access Steam. So this is very much the final deal.
Maybe golfers are more litigious than cricket players.
Well, yeah, maybe. So anyways, we'll just hop into a game now. Okay, so we've got the courses here rated by user ratings, and if I go in here, this is filtered by this. These are the ones with the official badge on the left. There are actually created by HB Studios,
yep.
But then you see some that have just been created by just users. And if I turn off the suggested filter, you can see the public courses. You can look down the bottom there, 9,268 courses found. And when I checked this like a few days ago, it was only 5,000. So it's growing exponentially. Creative titles here. I can't drive 1,000 yards. I don't know what that's referring to. But yeah, so basically that's the big thing with this game is the course creation and sharing of those courses.
That's good.
That's good, especially when we get to the course creator in a moment, and how sort of robust it is. But yeah, like, so if I did a search here for, say, Pebble Beach, or just Pebble, it'll show me those smartwatches. No, Pebble, okay, so we'll just go to the next page. So there's a Pebble Beach course, so it's only got a 2.1 rating, so it's probably not the best Pebble Beach, but as you can imagine, as more people play this and the more creative types, get into this, there'll be some better recreations of these courses from real life. Let's have a look at Augusta for a second. So yeah, Augusta National 6.2 ratings, so probably pretty decent. There's a 6.8 there as well. Anyways, so I'll just hop in because I'm talking and playing at the same time. This game is quite difficult.
Yep.
I'm going to choose one of the easy. I might just back out here. Choose Castle Creek's one of the easier courses.
Okay.
I think this is actually user created as well, so that's good. We'll show just how sort of cool they look. Let's tee off. Another thing, I mean, this is the PC version that we're playing here, so the loading times are a lot faster than...
Hello there, and welcome to this first hole, par 4.
Commentary,
sorry, I'll just take a little sidestep here. The commentary is awful. I mean, I don't know, it's not like a known talent. It sounds like just a bored Canadian, I guess one of the members of the dev team, perhaps, I'm not sure. But what he says gets cycled pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so here we are, about to tee off. So all that stuff, you've played that. I know you're not a big golf fan, but you've played the Tiger Woods games.
Yeah, totally.
And they try and sex up golf a bit.
Yep.
With the sort of bullet time cameras and
the
smoke trails and
all the meters and the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and often when you hit a good shot, the camera switches to like a anamorphic widescreen shot,
right, yeah.
and it's very cinematic. There's none of that here, none of that at all. This is more like a reproduction of just you out on a golf course. It's very quiet. There's no gallery. Like there's no. I can't switch the camera, but there's no crowd to watch you or cheer you to sort of boost your ego. There's nothing.
So even during the tournaments, there's no like crowds or anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Strange.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. In that sense, in the sense of a tournament, you'd expect someone would turn up, even if it was just your wife, whatever. But so there's no real assists either. Like obviously. Some games, not Tiger Woods perhaps, but some games use swing timers and things like that. You give you a better sort of visual representation of your power and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
There isn't any of that. There's nothing to really. There's no kind of like virtual caddy to tell you which club to use, or you're kind of on your own a bit. I mean, you've got the sort of the sort of flyby camera kind of thing like that, and also like a top-down view just showing you sort of distance.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my throat's a little dry, but as is this game. This game's very dry. But anyway, so all you can do is, it's just you've got to play by instinct and feel, sort of.
It's got to grip the shaft.
All right. But before I tee off, you can also, holding down the trigger, you can change the kind of height of your shot. the draw and the fade and all that kind of good stuff. But I don't really want to do a draw or fade in this instance, so I'm just going to grip it and rip it. It looks pretty good. The other thing is that it's very sensitive when it comes to the thumbstick. I mean, you use the thumbstick in the Tiger Woods games as well, but this one, I've got quite crooked thumbs. I mean, I don't really now that I look at them, but for whatever reason, I tend to sort of pull to one side. So when I first started playing this game, even the slightest of deviations was like really
straight off,
slicing or hooking. Yeah, it was just like I struggled, but I sort of adapted over time. What's this? So that's an 80 yards. My pitching wedge just got a 75 yards carry. That should be. The wind's blowing directly into my face, though. Maybe I'll up it to a 9-iron.
You don't even need me here.
What am I paying you for?
9-iron, huh? You're fine.
So not bad. On the dance floor.
Sweet. This one's for birdie.
So the putting is one area where you get a bit of a guide. Obviously,
Yep.
you get this grid on there showing the slope and the speed of the green. So I'm just going to aim slightly over here. But putting, again, is completely analog, both in terms of, you can swing all the way.
In terms of power as well.
That's how you measure the power. But also, if I hit it sort of slightly to the left or right, I can skew it, and that'll actually affect my shot. Get in the hole. Nice. That's as much sort of razzle dazzle as you get. Just the guy sort of sticking his arms in the air like that.
Start to the round. You
No
have
fist
1
pumps.
No fist
No
pump.
ball
I
dance.
think the fist pump is owned by Tiger Woods.
Okay.
That's one of his. So I might just play another quick hole
Well,
here before we hop out
just
and look at
letting
some
you
of the
know
course
it's a bit
creation.
windy out there, so keep that in mind as you go onto the tee.
I mean, he almost sounds like Bill Murray in Caddyshack, which is
Yeah.
kind of a nice touch, I guess, if that was deliberate. But anyway, so here we are again, teeing off. It's hard to kind of talk you through it.
Yeah.
Because it's more about the feel of it.
I guess it's something that, because it's so analog, it's something you become accustomed to. Like everyone became accustomed
I think this is
to
gonna
skate, and
divide.
skate was
Exactly.
clearly the superior way to build a skateboarding game.
That's right. Yeah.
So that analog control. I mean, and Don Bradman
Yeah,
cricket
for the bird.
is entirely analog,
Exactly.
bowling and batting, that sort of stuff. And it's something that requires a great deal of finesse, and it requires you to really put in.
I had the right power. Sorry.
Yeah. That's
3
to
feet to the hole.
Yeah, you have to
get
practice.
accustomed with the controls. So
Yeah, you can't be awesome straight off the
I
bat.
guess that's not a bad thing necessarily.
No, I like it. I do like it. It's just, you really have to work at it.
Yeah. Oh no, I understand.
Whereas
Yeah, no,
Tiger
you
Woods,
got
you
one
can
under
kind of
the
be
round.
awesome, especially since you can jump into Tiger Woods and you can just be Tiger Woods if you want.
Yeah.
So you're hitting 350-yard drives or whatever.
It is a nice hat though.
You're gonna have to be careful.
I agonised over the 3
Yeah.
colours
You're
available
really putting the
before I
wrench in
settled on
things.
that one.
Bet if you buy a hat like that, you get a free bottle of soup.
But we're actually, time's flying when you're
Yeah.
playing golf. Am I right,
Playing
Luke?
golf.
Or watching it even. So I might just hop out of this now. But yeah, so just finally, the other thing is in Tiger Woods where you hit a shot and then you're like, oh, I've sort of hit that slightly to the left. I better hammer the spin button to direct it back and magically. You can't do that either. All of the spin is handled via this before you tee off.
Yep.
And it's kind of out of your hands from there. And
I guess that's
the
realism
that's
we're
really
going for.
exactly. And the power as well. You can kind of affect the power in 2 different ways. You can either affect it by just shortening your backswing.
Yep.
Or you can also affect it by just pushing forward a little slower. See, I hit that at 59% power, even though I had a full full backswing. So it's kind of flexible. It's good. You get used to it. I like the brand of golf that this game plays, even though it's very sort of underfeatured in most regards. Where it isn't underfeatured is in terms of the course designer, which is unprecedented certainly for golf games of the past.
For modern golf games.
For modern
you're
golf
right,
games, exactly.
And it's
yeah.
something that I just cannot understand. Well, no, I do understand, but I can understand how the likes of EA haven't just caved to the fact that this is obviously where they need to head. User-generated content
Yeah.
is where it's been at for many years. And golf games have had golf games had course designers in the early 90s.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's not unheard of for golf games, period. But yeah, certainly in the reign of Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods games, that certainly hasn't been a feature. It may be a feature of their PGA Tour game next year. I don't know if they've said whether or not it's going to be in there.
Yeah.
My gut says it won't be.
Well, yeah. I mean, how many DLC courses will they sell?
Exactly.
If people can make 10,000 courses.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So okay. So and I'm not a big. I don't play Minecraft. I'm not. I mean, I like to think of myself as a creative person, but I'm not the type of person to sort of sit and agonize over, building things within games. I much prefer to sort of sample the fruits of other people's labours.
Yep.
And there's no shortage of that, as we saw. There's like 9,000 courses already. But anyways, if you want to create a course, it's as simple as just going to the new course. You've got sort of 5 different, environments to choose from: rural, alpine, autumn. I don't need to. Most viewers could probably read. I won't read them out. Links, of course, is the Scottish. The pure for the purists. I guess. But let's go with alpine. I like alpine. I actually, as a side note, the first course that I created was an alpine course, and it's because I was just kind of doing it as a test just to see what it was like.
Yep.
And I had to give it a name, and I called it the Tristan Alps. Very creative name.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm a creative guy. But when I published it to the network, because the last 2 letters of Tristan are AN, the first 2 letters of Alps AL, it censored my name, ANAL. Right? So just a little tip out there: don't try and hide, whether on purpose or accidentally. I mean, that's not even like. I mean, that's a scientific term.
Yeah.
Anyways, so from here you've got the terrain options. This is a very broad set of parameters. So if I want to reduce the number of trees, I can dial it down, and it'll just. You can see in the background there, it's just like removing the trees.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, environmentalists. We just cut down quite a lot of trees. And then you can just, pump up the amount of water, and the hills. This is all kind of random.
Yep.
And if I'm not happy with what I've just done, I can just totally randomize what I'm doing here. I should point out this is the PC version of the game. The Xbox, I mentioned this in the written review, the Xbox One version is quite a lot more sluggish.
Yes.
In this sort of generation. In fact, I had a tip from they're patching it as we speak, but at the moment I had a tip from the developer that you had to unplug your Xbox One from the power, plug it back in to like dump the memory cache or whatever. And that speeds things up, but even so, it's still noticeably slower than the PC version, but not to the point of it being broken or anything. It's just you just got to wait a few seconds with each change that you make. But anyway, so this looks fine. So you go on to next here, you choose the course difficulty, how many holes you want. I go 18, call me old-fashioned. And then you name the course. Any suggestions?
Tristan Alps?
Tristan Alps it is. I'm just struggling to spell my own name. Okay, so Tristan Alps. And then from there, so it'll just randomly generate these holes. It's offline at the moment, so no one can see it until I publish it. If I decide, well, that looks awful straight off the bat, I can just redo that again. It'll sort of move the holes around. And then, that looks good. And so then I can jump into edit holes, and I can sort of zoom in and out here. And so I'm zooming down here into this hole. And I decide that I want to... Well, I can move the entire hole if I want.
Yeah.
So I can move it... Zoom out a bit. I can move it over here. And this is all... pretty quick on the old PC. I can sculpt the land.
Yep.
So if I want to, say, raise this up a little bit. Wait, I've got to choose the type of
the type of brush.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll just kind of rotate this around a bit. And then, so we're just going to raise this up a bit. And it'll just generate a kind of lump there. I don't know why you'd ever do that, but you can. If you want to get a kind of mini golf kind of feel to your golf courses, you can.
Hey, has anybody made a mini golf course? That'd be interesting.
That's a good question. I haven't actually searched for that, but this is. I mean, you can just.
Can you like brush the hill tool across like parts of the terrain to just like kind of like it was like Mod Nation races. I was playing back in the day where you could kind of do a lot of this stuff as well, which was quite well featured.
Right. Wait, so you mean like sort of drag?
Yeah, can you kind of drag that
like
tool
a,
around?
like a kind of a
do you have to say?
Photoshop blur kind of
Yeah.
thing? No, you kind of have to start. You can just have to like sort of build on it. I mean, you can pick things up and move things.
Yep.
As well. Oh, I think that's an interesting. You'd never see that in nature. So then, whoops, I've hopped out too far. Then we can add, let's say, that's just sort of tweaking the amount of water.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, this is Kevin Costner's golf course.
That's awesome.
Now I've kind of backed out too far. So it's kind of hard to talk and...
Well, I always thought that in the Tiger Woods games, like I kind of played them a bit on PS2.
Right.
That was sort of the right era for me when I was in uni, and we were just playing fun games that were fun to play with 4 or 5 mates around.
Yep.
And I always thought the fantasy courses in that game, sort of back in the era of like Tiger Woods 2003 and 4 and that sort of stuff, when they had those Scottish castle courses.
Yeah.
The ones on giant hills with enormous lakes. And was there a course in that game called the Predator? And it was like super, super hard and had like just hazards everywhere. And I think it was called the Predator or something. Yeah. Anyway, I always thought the fantasy courses were really, I don't know, a great deal of fun when the greens are out on little islands and stuff.
Right. So sorry, I've just added a bunch of hazards here.
Yep.
Sorry, you.
No, I'm
I don't
done.
know if you finished your thought. Okay, sorry. And you can set the par for the hole and move the hole. Oh, sorry, I already did that. But you can add to the fairway if you want. Get a little chunk going off here for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pick things up. You can pick up this bunker and move it entirely, and so it's very flexible. That you can move the clubhouse if you want. So yeah, we are running a bit long, but this is just a little bit of a look at the course designer. But basically, it's very flexible, and certainly, nothing really like this has ever been seen before in a golf game. And I can also, if I'm unhappy with the Alps, I could go ahead and change it to the desert. It kind of makes a mockery of the Tristan Alps name.
Well, now it's ironic.
No, it's an ironically titled golf course. A lot of people like those. You can change the time of day as well, if that matters to you.
So the time of day doesn't change
over
the course of your game, but you can set the course. Okay,
you can just set it, exactly. Yep. And also, you can change the slope of the green and the speed of the green and all that kind of. It's quite minute when you really dig down to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll say.
Look, it's the Trisps.
Oh yeah, so it instantly censored it. The Trisps. And that is, I don't know why I saved that, but anyway, so. So that is the golf club. A little underfeatured, definitely lacking in presentation, and sort of player progression and customization. But it plays a good game of golf, and theoretically, it could have you playing for a long time, given the excellent course designer. Whether you use it or whether you just use the products of it from the other users.
Yeah.
I've given it...
Feels like a good step in the right direction for a golf game to have such a robust course editor.
Yeah, well, I mean, particularly since there's no EA Sports golf game this year, it's quite a good timing for a new franchise to kick off. We'll see if the Golf Club 2 emerges next year head-to-head with PGA Tour. But anyways, for now, this is kind of the only sim golf game on next-gen consoles, but it's also available on PC. Check it out. I gave it a 7 out of 10. The Golf Club. Hope you're still awake out there. Bye.
Bye.